The Watchers, also known as Grigori or Aaron, meaning those who watch, those who are awake, or the ones who never sleep, are an order of angels who were created by God to be the earthly shepherds of the first humans, only to become the second faction of fallen angels. The Grigori were both physically and spiritually gigantic, at least by the standards of the people who later wrote about them. Given their description, however, it is not unreasonable to say that Watchers must have been angels, but they are not described as God's most trusted angels. Enoch himself states that they were angels and continues by saying that there are 200 of them, with only their leaders being named. The Grigori were one of the more technological orders and had many scouts, warriors and designers. Many of the Grigori were talented in subjects of crystal science, astronomy, biology, combat and philosophy. The Grigori had a lot of culture in their society, as they are also said to be the most human-like. They tend to be bigger in stature than other angelic species, but can conceal their heights to average levels. Grigori can be viewed as heroes to humans in the same way Lucifer is viewed to the demons, but when you look at it, the knowledge shared advanced our civilization to much, causing reckless bloodshed. Even the cosmetics parts, it was probably fighting over material resources as well. History background. When the Watchers were a chorus, they had no names. They were formless and as one as each angel whispered together amidst the song of the cosmos. Among the chorus of these Watchers was Semyaza, who was touched by the light of God for the purpose of fulfilling a special duty for his creations. As Semyaza was the angel that knew of God's ineffable name, he would come to use this blessing to bestow the names of the Watchers who stood behind him. They were given form and purpose through the bestowment of their names by the graces of God and from the mouth of Semyaza. They served early humanity as vast reservoirs of information concerning the finer points of civilization, and their selflessness was beyond compare. They were first called the Watchers, as it was their job to observe humanity, lending a helping hand when necessary but not interfering in the course of human development. They practically witnessed and heard all that occurred on earth. They were the messengers and middle ground between the earth and heaven. Everything that happened on earth was seen and ordained by the Watchers on God's behalf. Forbidden knowledge and unions. However, the conflict begins when the Watchers then abandon their duties. They watched over the children of men as they multiplied and became obsessed with the beauty of the daughters of men, taking them as their mortal wives to bear their children. This act was due to Nama and her daughters, the Nashim, machinations. As Nama is a spirit of women's sexual autonomy and sacred erotic rights, their spells would warp not just the appearance of the women, but also their spirits, into becoming supremely desirable even for divine beings like the angels. Semyaza feared that not all would agree with this idea and the punishment of such a sin would fall solely on him. The 10 chiefs of the Watchers all took an oath that meant they could not abandon this plan, and the oath also bound them to one another, meaning any punishment would fall upon all of them. Finally, and at the prodding of their leader Semyaza, 200 defect en masse to illicitly instruct and cohabit with humanity. The chief Watchers shared knowledge and secrets which were forbidden, teaching humanity all manner of enchantments and charms, such weaponry, cosmetics, mirrors, sorcery, and other techniques that would otherwise be discovered gradually over time by humans, not foisted upon them all at once. The offspring of these unions that the Grigori begot were hideous, misshapen monsters, now known in demonic circles as the Nephilim, standing over 4,000 feet tall. The Nephilim were ferocious and powerful beings that mankind could not control, and eventually the giants turned on them, roaming their lands, pillaging and destroying everything in their path. Eternal punishment. The archangels, Michael, Gabriel, Raphael, and Uriel observed this lawless and unrighteous behavior taking place and decide that they must act. Turning to God, their father informed them that the only way to ensure the full and total destruction of humanity is to destroy everything else and begin anew. Uriel is sent to warn Noah of the oncoming flood. Raphael was sent to punish Azazel by binding and casting him into Dewdale. Gabriel was dispatched to destroy the half-breeds as well as the children of men born from sin. He does this by inciting a great battle between the two. And lastly, Michael binds the leader of the Watchers, Semyaza, alongside all the other Watchers who defiled themselves in unions with human women, damning them for the remainder of their long lives. It was not long before Enoch approached the Watchers and informed them of God's plan, which resulted in the Watchers pleading and begging with him to draw a petition as they trembling in fear while seeking forgiveness. However, God responds to Enoch in a dream that the petition is denied, as the Watchers would not receive forgiveness nor would they ever ascend to heaven again. The petition on behalf of their children was also denied. They would have to watch as the Nephilim were killed right before their eyes. Later on, God sends the great flood to rid the earth of the Nephilim completely, all while the Watchers are thrown into Sheol chained for all eternity. Members: Semyaza, leader; Azazel, leader; Arachiel, Ramiel, Kakabiel, Tamiel, Daniel, Shazakiel, Barachiel, Armoros, Bezaliel, Ananiel, Gadriel, Shamsiel, Sathriel, Turiel, Yomiel, Suriel, Yechan, Asbiel, Penamu,